Good morning everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Crystal. I hope everybody is going to have a lovely Friday. It's Friday. I'm here in my flat in Rochester. My mother Jennifer lives in Chatham and I haven't heard from my mum since yesterday morning, and I haven't seen Jennifer, my mother, for a couple of months now. I would have month or two. So I'm getting on with my life and I'm quite happy about that. Things are tough for everybody. The cost of living is extortionate and a lot of people are suffering at the moment. It's not just myself, it's other people as well. And also I think it's one of the things that happened after COVID, myself, when we were all stuck indoors for a couple of years, unable to go out properly and socialise, and some of us loved our loved ones and our family members like I did myself during COVID, and you're still getting over it, you know? That's not unusual, and it's not unusual to feel upset and a bit depressed after you've lost a loved one, no matter how long that person's been dead. Of course you're going to feel feelings. I don't think you really get over the death of a loved one. You move on with your life and move on with it, but you don't get over it. And it's natural to get depressed and feel isolated and feel alone. And I'm now in my 50s and my mother's older, and I'm having problems with the relationship with my mother because she's got increasingly angry, bitter and spiteful, and she doesn't want to see me, and that's fair enough. And that makes me feel awful. That you know, has made me feel a bit more isolated, because also it was somewhere to go other than stuck in this prison-like block of flats, having been harassed and stalked by unknown persons since I've been in here. And you know, I know it's like someone doing a witch hunt. I'm gonna stick to you like glue. And that's what they're doing. They're sticking to me like glue, following me about and trying to make my life a misery. I've got proof of all the harassment because I've screenshotted it and I've written it down in a journal, so it's not in my head at all. I'm speaking with someone from Victim Support next week. It's also Mother's Day next week, isn't it? I have 4 children and I only see one of my older children. So for some mums who've lost children, whether they've lost them to illness or they've lost them because they've been taken into care, or it can be a depressing time for a mum. Mother's Day isn't always about flowers and seeing your kids. Some mums don't see their kids. Some mums suffer terrible loneliness. I can sympathise with that. I've been through it myself. When I first came down to Kent, my dad refused to let me see my children. He wouldn't take me up to see my children. He wouldn't let me out of the house to take phone calls to speak to my kids. My own dad refused to let me speak to my own children. I went through about 4 or 5 Mother's Days, 4 or 5 Christmases without having any contact with my own children. I know how it feels. So when someone's depressed, what do you do? What should you do? If you're a friend or someone that wants to help, what should you do if someone is depressed? Well, you don't make it worse. by finding out what causes their depression and then make it worse for them and make their life a misery. You don't do that. You help them. You maybe visit them a bit more often, talk to them on the phone, ask them how they're feeling, maybe send them a little gift to cheer them up. You don't make things worse. Or you know a narcissistic, nasty person, right, or somebody that underlyingly hates you, thinks right, what makes somebody depressed? All right, let's make it worse. Oh, she hasn't got any money. Oh, let's flash things in front of her. Oh, let's eat in front of her. Let's oh, she's a bit self-conscious about what she looks like. Let's make her feel worse. That type of narcissistic evil wanker, get lost. I know what makes me feel depressed. I know what makes me feel happy. Living like this makes me feel depressed, with a neighbour above me that is an asshole, making noise deliberately, and what I dealt with for the past 4 years has made me worse than I ever have been. It fucks up your head. Your mind is cluttered. You want to tidy up. It's not that you're messy and dirty. You want to tidy up, but when you've got somebody clanking and making noise, and your home is your haven, it's where you want to be safe and happy, and you're not, it's nothing to do with that you're dirty or messy. It's that the situation is fucking your mind up. And I've tried to get out of here many times, right, and it's only got worse now. The situation's got worse. So for me, I need to get out, start again, and I probably will kick social media in the butt and not use it again when I move. Or if I do, I'm certainly not going to advertise where I am. So, Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. Today is World Poetry Day. Why not ask me what my favourite poem is, or my favourite limerick?
Alexa, what is your favourite limerick?
Good morning, Crystal. My favourite limerick is, there was a young man from Peru, whose limerick stopped at line 2.
I love limericks. I love limericks and poems. I have got hundreds of poems on the All Poetry site. I want to get them published properly into a book. And years ago I had a little book full of limericks that I'd made up myself, some really rude ones and some really funny ones. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a couple of limericks up today, and we start doing things like that. I think like some funny poetry every morning. I will read you one of my limericks rather than get into this keep going on about what other people think. It's irrelevant. So Alexa, what is a limerick?
Limerick is usually defined as a kind of humorous verse of 5 lines, in which the first, second and fifth lines rhyme with each other, and the third and fourth lines, which are shorter, form a rhymed couplet.
So Alexa, can you read me a limerick?
There is an AI named Alexa, who's...
Sorry, she's got stuck. Alexa, can you read me a limerick?
When other pets started to bore us, we took in a young brontosaurus. Now it's 15 feet taller. We wish it was smaller. It's grown through the ceilings and floors.
There you go, that's a limerick. Alexa, what's the time, please?
The time is 8:30 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
Today is Friday the 21st of March.
Alexa, what is the weather outlook?
Sorry, I don't know that.
Alexa, what's the weather outlook?
Right now in Rochester, it's 11 degrees Celsius with mostly sunny skies. Today's forecast has cloudy skies, with a high of 17 degrees and a low of 9 degrees.
So we've got a high of 17 degrees, which is very warm for March. Alexa, can you tell me an Easter joke?
What did the Easter Bunny say when his plan came together? Excellent.
And Alexa, whose birthday is it today?
Today is in 15 hours, 29 minutes, and 4 seconds.
Alexa, which celebrities were born on this day?
Celebrities born on the 21st of March include Rosie O'Donnell, Gary Oldman, Johann Sebastian Bach, Sergei Lavrov, and Ayrton Senna.
Alexa, who was Ayrton Senna?
Michael Collins is the leader of the Independent Ireland Party and a Choctaw Dála for the Cork Southwest constituency since 2016.
So Alexa comes out with random stuff. Alexa, who was Ayrton Senna?
Ayrton Senna da Silva was a Brazilian racing driver who competed in Formula One from 1984 to 1994.
Alexa, what happened to Ayrton Senna?
Ayrton Senna died on the 1st of May 1994 at the age of 34 and the cause of death was auto racing accident.
He died in a racing accident. Ayrton Senna, one of the greatest drivers, died in a racing accident. So the sun is shining outside. It looks like it's going to be another warm day. I've not got anything planned at all. I am not, however, depressed at this moment in time. When I've written in my diary, I put I feel shitty, or I wake up and I feel a bit sluggish. I'm not feeling depressed. I'm not letting these bullies get me down. And that they are bullies. They deliberately, causing anguish and upset to somebody to try and make them shut up and keep quiet. And my mother thinks that because I'm not going up there, that what has happened to me, what my father did, is all going to go washed under the carpet. No one knows who she is, and then it's all forgotten. Well, it isn't, because I haven't forgotten it. I haven't forgotten my brother. I haven't forgotten my sister. I haven't forgotten my dad. Right? So just because, right, we don't speak or see each other anymore, it doesn't mean I have not forgotten what was done to me and my family, and it doesn't mean that she's swapping places with me again, and what happened the last time when I came down in 2008, that's not happening, right? I have not got a severe mental health illness, and it needs to stop being used, right, to get certain people out of trouble. I am sick and fucking tired of it. I have depression. I have anxiety. I've been living under a chap that has been making my life a misery for the past 4 years. Thinking someone is hungry and then shoving food in their face, wandering around with shopping, food bags, putting it on top of the car, parading skinny people down the street that look like the size of a twig. That's what happened this morning. There was a lady dressed in what looked like my Parker coat, and she must have been a size 0. There was a bald-headed man with black hair walking past my window. I'm not bald and I'm not skinny. So this was what was done to Princess Diana, and there's no way I'm comparing myself to Princess Di. No one possibly could. She was the most beautiful, kindest person on this planet when she was alive, and at the time of her death in 1977 in a car crash. But this is how they made Princess Diana feel ugly. This is how they made her feel fat. And this is how they made her feel so depressed that she tried to kill herself 5 times. Once pregnant with Prince William, she threw herself down the stairs in front of the Queen of England. And you can read about it. How would you feel sharing your husband with another woman? Because that is what she had to do at the tender age of 19 years old, when those two at their ages should have known better. She was labelled mentally ill, right, Princess Diana was, and the staff even kept Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles' affair secret. What that woman had to go through at the age of 19 was criminal. Her whole life was fucking ruined. In my opinion, what I've read, and I can't say it for truth because I wasn't there, but what I've read was that poor girl loved King Charles, loved him, adored him, looked up to him, and he was in love with Camilla Parker Bowles even before he married Princess Diana. It tore her whole life apart. But to turn round and say someone's got a mental illness to cover up somebody's affair is disgusting. She went through hell. It twisted her mind into pieces. She went to various witch doctors and therapists trying to get help, who fucking just used Princess Diana because of her money and her fame. What can you do? That fucks her whole life up. No one takes responsibility. It's always somebody else's fault, isn't it? Or somebody's mad and crazy when you expose a lie, expose abuse. It's a lie. And, you know, there is abuse in care homes. They're thinking of installing cameras in care homes now. Care homes. Because the elderly are being abused in care homes. Workers are hitting old people and they've got dementia and Alzheimer's, and roughing them up and treating them like shit. Elderly people, right, you know, should be respected and helped and not hit and mistreated. The gross negligence that's going on in this country. I mean, we're all being mistreated. Our food is being shrunk smaller. There's hardly anything to fucking eat. Our government is trying to force disabled people into work and people with mental health problems. Right? And how can we cook decent meals? How can we buy decent meat and meals when the cost of living is extortionate? Have we got a microwave meal is nearly £5 for one person. How can you say someone's neglecting themselves when it's not their fucking fault? I could have some of my cup of coffee. Do you know what? Two or three items of food, £10. My electricity is 120 plus a month, over 120 quid, sometimes more. Then I've got the water rates, which has gone up this year. Then the council, I'm dreading the council tax bill. What's the fucking council tax bill going to be like? Seriously.